Happening this morning, President Donald Trump will attend the dignified transfer of 4 soldiers killed in the Middle East. That happens at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. The Pentagon has also completed an 11th night of strikes on Iran. That barrage comes after the commander-in-chief telegraphed that strikes there would be intensifying. Just a short time ago, missile alert sirens sounded in Jordan's port city of Aqaba. Plumes of smoke could be seen overhead, and officials described it as an Iranian missile attack. News Nation Washington correspondent Corey Smith is live at the White House. Corey, there's a lot to unpack here, but let's start with today's dignified transfer. What are we expecting there?
Marky, good morning to you. It is scheduled to take place at 11 a.m. Eastern today. This ritual, one of the most somber duties of any president. It'll be the third that President Trump has attended since February. We know 3 of the soldiers died over the weekend in an attack in Jordan. You see them there on your screen. And a 4th died in a separate attack in Iraq. As for those overnight strikes you mentioned, the Pentagon saying it was executed to degrade Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Hormuz Strait. That includes, as it has the last nights, military operations centers, maritime capabilities, aircraft hangars, drone storage facilities, and more. Also new, President Trump approving an agreement with Saudi Arabia. It potentially provides them with uranium enrichment capability, but it's only for its civilian nuclear program. That's according to the Associated Press, which spoke with 2 people familiar with the matter. Now, this 30-year deal is expected to be publicly announced perhaps as early as today, and it's expected to be submitted to Congress for review. It's also likely to raise some concerns about nuclear proliferation in the Middle East. Marky?
Well, we salute those military members, their families this morning ahead of that dignified transfer. And Corey, let's talk about the cost of this war. We also got an update just on the price tag of the conflict and how much more may be needed moving forward. Crunch those numbers for us.
Yeah, nearly 5 months of fighting, Marky, and according to the Pentagon, the war has cost an estimated $37.5 billion. But that number could actually be much higher. It's unclear whether that figure includes the cost of repairs at all the bases in the region that have been damaged. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and Chair of the Joint Chiefs General Dan Kane both testifying before the Senate Appropriations Committee yesterday to make their sales pitch. The pair really framing their $67 billion supplemental budget request as critical to the Iran war effort. Both offered a dire warning if Congress cannot step up.
It will manifest itself in a few different places. Most significantly, it'll be in military personnel related matters. We'll figure out how to pay soldiers and sailors, but that would be a strain.
Not funding this department at $1.5 trillion, I believe, is the greatest threat that our nation faces. Either we invest in our warriors at this moment of step change on the battlefield and growing threats, or this is all just talk.
Now, if you watched any part of this hearing yesterday, you saw that there was bipartisan frustration over some of the answers those lawmakers were given, which did lead to some heated moments. But when asked what his plan B was in the event Congress denies the request coming from the Department of War, General Kane was blunt. He said, quote, "We'll figure it out." Marky?
I'll be joined by lawmakers throughout the show who were in that hearing room yesterday. A lot of questions coming their way. Corey Smith, live at the White House. Thank you.